We are bringing the wife coach back to the panel, guys. And of course, you all know Lakia. She was here with that bright, beautiful smile. Just giving you a little update about her for those who are not here, who just tuned in a little late. She is the creator of the Marriage Success Planner and the only online masterclass that's changing miserable married women into happy, healthy, and irresistible wives. When she's not in class, she's on stage inspiring her female audiences to become better if they want better marriages. So beautiful. Welcome back, sis. So we're going to be talking about how to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything. So, hey, Lakia, welcome back.
Hey, Gwen. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get in here and do this thing. So as you all know from earlier, I am LB. Thank you again, Gwen, for that amazing introduction. We're about to close this thing out with a really fun session. And I'm so excited, again, for Linda and her vision for this entire 2-day experience. So I just want to give a big shout out to Linda for being obedient. I know this is something that has been on her heart, something that she's been wanting to do for quite some time. And I know that a lot of couples have been feeling the pressure during this pandemic. And this resource is going to give them the tools they need to come out of this thing, not just surviving, but prayerfully thriving in their marriages. So thank you, Linda, for your heart. Thank you for your vision. And thank you for allowing me to be a part. So, y'all ready to have some fun? All right. It's all about how to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything. Now, ladies and gents, I hope y'all are ready for this. I know we are mostly a female-dominated a conference here, but just in case we have some men here, just know that they're lurking. But I want y'all to confirm, men, what I'm saying, and if it is any truth to it, please let me know. So if anybody is excited about this session, I definitely want to hear from you in the chat room. Make sure you are utilizing that chat room, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So today's agenda, we're going to learn a little bit more about who I am and what I do. And then I'm going to just jump right in and reveal the secrets. Now, let me just go ahead and say this real quick. When it comes to this thing called marriage or relationships, ain't no secrets. There isn't any secrets. We say reveal the secrets because in your mind, I know you're telling yourself there got to be something I don't know. There has to be something that is keeping me from having the type of marriage or, getting my spouse and I to really click with each other. So I just call it secrets. But what you're going to realize is, I done heard this before. I was listening to Lucas and Corinne, and I'm like, you know what? We all got the same notes. We all got the same playbook because we teach the same thing, but the delivery may be different. So although what you're hearing from me may not be new, it may not be rocket science, these are things that you have to do. These are the things that require work in marriage in order to make it work. So I'm going to reveal y'all secrets, even though they're not secrets, on how to get your spouse to do more. And then, of course, I'm going to open up for Q&A at the end. So again, use that chat room, talk away, add your questions, and I'll be sure to get to them toward the end of my session. So we're going to start with... There we go. Let's go back. True or false? All right. So I'm coming into the chat room. Marriage is 50-50. Is that a true statement or a false statement? Put that in the chat room. I am coming up to the chat room to see what you all are saying. True or false? Marriage is 50-50. Okay, Nikisha said false. Gwendolyn said false. Come on, ladies. Whether you thought this before you were married, now that you're married, false. Okay, so a lot of ladies, all right? Sharon, false. Manyi, false. Anybody else? Okay, Susan, false. So the consensus is that marriage ain't 50-50. Okay? Marriage ain't 50-50, and for my more, educated folks, marriage isn't 50-50. But let me tell you something, it ain't. And what's so funny about us knowing that marriage ain't 50-50 is why we having this conversation there. Why do you feel like you are doing more than your spouse? And this is a marriage mindset. This is one thing that I really want to focus on in this session, on how you see marriage and how you see the two people who are playing their part in marriage. Now, I've been married to my boo, my baby daddy, Derek, for 11 years. And we have really experienced this thing called marriage. We have so much further to go, but we've done a lot in 11 years. And I can tell y'all right now that I came to marriage with the idea that marriage was 50-50. I might be alone on this one. Y'all ain't gonna back me up. That's okay. But I really thought that if I do this, you do that. If I wash the clothes, you drive. If I cook dinner, you clean the dishes. I really saw marriage as 50-50. And let me tell you something. I was completely wrong with that mindset. And that mindset set me up for a lot of disappointment, a lot of resentment. I opened up space for resentment to come in because of what I considered marriage to be. And I think somebody put this in the chat room. Marriage is 100-100. I heard Lucas talk about that. You don't come to marriage as 50% and 50% and y'all become one. Marriage is 100-100. And that's what I want you all to really understand when it comes to your marriage. If marriage is 100-100%, we're both giving 100% for our marriage, then why do I feel like I'm doing more? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Why do I feel like he's doing less? I'm talking to my ladies today, okay? This is a meeting in the ladies' room. I do know my men might be here. And like I said, men, y'all go ahead and confirm if what I'm saying is true. So I am here to help, because in my 11 years of marriage, I know I felt like I've done it all. I am tired of being superwoman. I have a narrative in my head where I tell myself, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm taking care of the children. I am so tired. He don't do nothing. I might be telling on myself. I don't mind being transparent. One thing the wife coach has done over the years, and I've learned to teach my wives, is to just own your ish. And I didn't curse. Your ish are your issues. I've learned to own my ish. And part of that is me thinking that I'm doing everything and my husband ain't doing nothing. So we're going to change that mindset today, because I know there is a wife or a wife-to-be right now who wants their spouse to do more. If that's you, put I do in the chat room. We're going to have us a good time today, y'all. Put I do in the chat room. Do you want your spouse to do more? Am I alone? Am I the only one that wants that? Yes. Own it. Okay, Nakisha said, I do. I own it. I do. You ain't know you were saying I do to that stuff too, huh? Right? You're going to say I do to him doing more. So if y'all are ready, I'm about to break it down to you right now, okay? And I'm going to break that down by sharing with you all 5 ways to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything. Okay, y'all, let me tell you something. My husband and I, right now, we are on a family vacation. We are in Destin, Florida, and before we left Atlanta, I had to leave at the wee hours in the morning to go get my car serviced. And when I got back home, our 3-year-old daughter, I have a 3-year-old souvenir from Jamaica. That's what happens when you just have one too many rum punches. I'm just keeping it real on the Saturday. Y'all my people. And I have a 12-year-old. But when I got back home, the 3-year-old was dressed from head to toe. And he was doing her hair. I walked into the bathroom and I just looked and said, as he was, making my baby girl's ponytail was a little too tight, but it's okay. He was doing her hair. And I said, oh my goodness, he's listening to me. And you might be like, okay, Ann, that ain't no big deal. But let me tell you why that's a huge deal in my 11 years of marriage. Because there came a time where I would be fussing, I would be nagging, I'll be cutting the rug, mad, because my husband didn't step up the way I felt like he was supposed to. And so I'm gonna go ahead and give you the first way that I believe you are going to get your spouse to do more, okay? And that first way is to define what more looks like to you. Somebody needs to write that down. I know Gwendolyn shared with you all that I am the creator of the only online masterclass that's changing married women into happy, healthy, and successful wives. And I am a teacher at heart. Before I became the wife coach, I was a classroom teacher. So I want to make sure that you are leaving here with some practical tools that you can start implementing today in your relationship in order to get your spouse to do more. So the first thing you got to do is define what more looks like to you. Now, I pretty much look at more I call them the 3 C's of a family. children, cooking, and chores. Now, I grew up in a household where I was pretty much prepared to be a domesticated woman. Like, I know how to take care of a household. That's one of my areas of strength. But what I realized is that I came to a point where I felt like I was cooking, and while I was cooking, I was multitasking. I'll be washing the clothes at the same time and then rearing the children. And then I kind of beat myself on the chest, like, look at all this I can do without you. Yeah, that's how I used to think. And then I got mad when he wasn't doing more, but he didn't know what more meant to me. I just assumed that he would know that more meant helping with the kids, helping with the cooking, helping with the chores. So I had to get real clear on defining what more looked like to me, because just because they're not doing what you think they're supposed to be doing doesn't mean they're not contributing. Somebody need to write that down. See, we already said that marriage ain't 50-50, right? But yet I am putting myself up here. Oh, I am. I keep it real. I own my ish, y'all. I'm doing all this. Well, what you doing? I want you to do more. But guess what? He is contributing. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But my more has to be clearly defined. So you got to really think about, what is it that you need your spouse to do? Think about that really quickly. And I think I heard Lucas talk about this earlier, about getting real specific. Like getting real specific. So ask yourself this question and write it down. What specifically do you want your spouse to do more of? Because I had to really think, like, okay, well, I want him to help out more with the cooking. Well, my husband don't cook. I mean, he does cook. He can cook. But when it comes to our schedules and the marriage that we're building together, and we run our marriage like a business too, cooking is not something that he can provide me at this time. Now, I know that, but yet I want him to do more of it. That's not realistic. My husband works 8 days a week. Yes, 8 days a week. And when it comes to how our relationship is run and how we run our marriage, I had to realize that I was putting more emphasis on the more of stuff that he was just incapable of doing right now because of where we are. And so I had to be realistic. For me, maybe it wasn't the cooking. Maybe it was the children. Okay, you know what? When you get home early on these days, then I need you to, can you just put the girls to bed? Can you, maybe that's what I need from him. I need him to put the girls to bed because I'll be burnt out since they're home, doing virtual learning at this season in our marriage, right? So you got to get very specific on what you want, but be realistic. Because we sometimes come up with this whole thing, I want you to do more. I'm all general. I want you to do more. But he's like, well damn, baby. Y'all don't mind if I say that, I hope. Well, what am I not doing? He has his list of things he's doing. In fact, if he really pulled your stuff, he might think that you could be doing some more of something as well. But he chilling. He ain't got that life. He's just trying to, have a good marriage. He ain't ready to call you out. So you got to ask yourself specifically, what do I need my spouse to do more of? Okay. And we're going to go into a quote. I want y'all to remember this quote when it comes to your marriage. Marriage is truly a partnership, and both husband and wife have to know how to play their part. Every person in that relationship is playing a part. And when you think about the part you play and the part your spouse plays, if you want them to have more responsibilities, more duties, really define what that looks like to you first, because it might look totally different to him. Are y'all following me? Are y'all ready for 2? I need y'all to put 2 in the chat room. If you're ready for the second way to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything, put number 2 in the chat room. Oh, Jason, I see my people are here. Okay, number 2, the second way is to acknowledge what they're already doing. Hello, somebody. Y'all can pass the collection plate on this one. Acknowledge what they're already doing. I am quick to tell my husband, at least I was early on, what he not doing. I don't know where that training comes from. We talked about this on the panel discussion. I hope y'all got some gems from that, because my people were dropping some gems. When it comes back to my upbringing, because I had to go back and figure out where that was coming from. Why am I so quick to tell him what he's not doing, but fail to acknowledge or appreciate the things that he is? Because when I really think about it, he is contributing. When I really think about how my husband at this point in time is spending hours, not because he wants to, but because he needs to. He's spending hours outside of the house establishing his business for our family so that we can be set up later. So we can make sure this legacy we're building and the things that we say we want for our children will be in place. But that requires him to be outside of the house. So he may not be contributing to the cooking and the cleaning and cheering the way I think he is, because I have my mindset. I wrote my own script. Rhea talked about this earlier. And I know how I think marriage is supposed to be panning out. But when he kind of veers from it, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what I wrote for you to do. But that's not what he wrote for him to do either. So acknowledge what he is doing. You know what? I really appreciate how my husband took it upon himself. I didn't cuss, I didn't fuss, I didn't nag. He took it upon himself to get our daughter ready. I didn't complain about what she had on. I don't care if she had on polka dot stripes, green hair. I didn't care. He took the initiative to listen to me, not just once, not just twice, to listen to me and do something for our child that helped take the load off. See, now that's what I'm really realizing is when I ask him to do more, what am I getting from this? How is this going to help me? So now let me acknowledge what he is doing so that I can get him to do more. Y'all heard that part? Kind of whispered it. It's going to come back again. It's on the slide. I promise you. Here it comes. So how do you do this? Here's the question you need to ask. How is your spouse contributing to your marriage now? Contributions are not just one, or they're not linear. They're not just one area. Like we look at marriage and our husbands as providers. And I've had to tell my husband, I've had to share my heart with my husband, how contributions in the monetary way is not the only thing this marriage needs. If you're going to provide, I need you to provide spiritually, emotionally, physically, sexually. I need to be, the provision needs to cover everything with this woman right here. But when I think about how he is contributing, my husband does come by and he may say, you know what, I love you, baby. And give me a hug. I'm not the most affectionate wife. I've learned to become better at that because that's his love language. But I appreciate that he loves me the way that he does. That's a contribution. No, it may not be physical, like as far as I can say he folded the clothes and I can see it. No, but that's one thing. He's loving on me is a contribution. Him really giving his heart to me is a contribution. Him emotionally trying to meet my needs is a contribution. Him, again, helping out with that little girl, washing the dishes. I've been washing the dishes since I was like 12. And to see my husband, who grew up in a household where he didn't have to wash the dishes because all of the women in his household wash the dishes, that does a lot for me. To see him take that load off. So really think, how is he contributing? And stop looking at it as, okay, he paid bills. You saying that like that ain't, wait a minute, hold up, time out. Because if he wasn't paying the bills, or if he wasn't providing financially, it'll be another issue. What you want, woman? I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to your neighbor. Okay? So how is your spouse contributing to your marriage right now? And then, of course, here is a quote that I want you to remember. The more you appreciate your spouse, the more they will do for you. Your spouse is facing enough critics out in the world. Like they get criticized. Things that we don't even see our spouses deal with, they're dealing with on a daily basis. Then to come home and not be appreciated. Then to come home and be reminded of everything you're not doing. Who want to do anything for you? You wouldn't want to do it. Even when I was in the classroom, I had to learn how to appreciate and acknowledge my students. And guess what? They perform better. You think it ain't going to happen with your man? Try it. You're welcome. Y'all ready for the next one? Put number 3 in the chat room. If you're ready for the third way that you're going to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything. I don't think y'all ready for me today. Y'all all right? I hope, Ariel, I hope it's helping. Sharon, I hope it's helping. Number 3, so the third way, y'all ain't going to like me on this one, but that's okay. I'm just here to help. Told y'all I'm here to help. The third way to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything is to stop keeping score. Message. In my quarantine time, because we had a lot of time, had an opportunity to watch The Last Dance, the documentary with Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Did anybody watch that? Wasn't that a dope documentary? Like I had already loved Michael Jordan. But I just gained another level of respect for him after seeing what he had to go through, what the team had to go through in order to become the champions that they were. And one thing we are also reminded of is that, Michael Jordan was a key player. But even though he was a key player, he scored the most points. Michael Jordan wouldn't have won that game if he didn't have Scottie Pippen in him. I'm like, because I ain't a basketball person, but Scottie Pippen and all them, y'all know the players. If he didn't have his team, he wasn't going to win and get that ring. So what I need you to start looking at your relationship as a team effort. You have your contributions. Your spouse has his contributions. And together, y'all are working for the betterment of your marriage. You are working for the betterment of winning together. Because guess what? If Michael Jordan lost, the Chicago Bulls lost. What are we doing here? And so when we start keeping score, that's when we start quantifying. Well, I did this. Okay, LB walked in the house, and you know what I did? I just wiped the counter off because I saw that food on the counter. So let me give myself a point because I did that. And so I was operating very early on as an I, like this my show. Nah, boo, this y'all show. This you and Derek's show. Why are you keeping score on everything that you're doing and expecting to win and expecting not to look at it as this isn't fair? You told me, not y'all. Y'all told me that marriage ain't 50-50. You agreed to that. So why am I looking at I'm contributing 90% of the marriage and he's contributing 10? Where you get that mindset from? Because you keep in score. And the more you keep score, the more unfair this thing called marriage is going to be. At the end of the day, you are on a team. So I need you to start looking at what's for the betterment of the team. Sometimes Michael Jordan would have the ball and score all the time. And I know Scottie Pippen would get the rebounds and all that stuff. I hope I got them right. When Kobe and Shaq were that dynamic duo, y'all remember that? Shaq couldn't shoot. I remember that. I ain't even into basketball like that, but I remember Shaq was a whole lot of bricks when it came to shooting that ball, but he could rebound or you know what out of that thing. They worked together as a team because at the end of the day, the team wanted to win. But you can't keep score because it will never seem fair. Remember, marriage ain't 50-50, it's what? 100-100. So how can we start this conversation about keeping score in your marriage? The first thing you got to do is think about what keeping score is going to do, what problems it's going to create. What type of problems could keeping score create between you and your spouse? See, now I need you to look at it differently because now it's like all about me. This is my thing. Nah, this y'all thing. This is a joint effort. But if I start keeping score, then I'm going to start talking about how my husband is not contributing. I'm going to start making him feel less than, but I want him to do more. Come on, somebody. I'm going to make him feel less. Like I'm keeping the scorecard, right? And I want you to do more, but I'm going to show you how, according to my scorecard, you're doing less. Do y'all see that? So you got to start thinking about the problems that it's going to create. That is going to create in your relationship. All right? And I want you to remember this quote when it comes to keeping score. Happily married people know that keeping score is what unhappily married people do. Hello, somebody. Y'all ain't ready for me. Are y'all ready? So that is the third way. Told y'all I'm revealing secrets today. Have you heard this before? The fourth way. Y'all ready? Put it in the chat room. If you're ready for the fourth way, that you are going to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything. We're getting close to 5, y'all. Then I'm going to open up the Q&A, so I hope y'all are ready. The fourth way. This is like genius. This is the one. This is the one. Ask for their help and share how it will make you feel. Write that down. Ask. Oh, y'all quick to say what the Bible says. Yeah, ask and you shall receive. But you don't want to ask your spouse for anything because they should just know. What a breakdown and communicate. Where you get that from? Ask for their help and share. Now, earlier, if you all were in the couples panel, both Jason and Rhea, they talked on Jason with Focused Marriages, and Rhea with Fab Wives talked about the Superman versus the Superwoman alter ego, so to speak. And one thing that I had to really check was, why are you trying to be Superwoman? Like, where you get that from? And then I went back to my upbringing, because I own my ish. I go back to where it all started. And I grew up in a household where my mother was a superwoman, and I admired it. Like, wow, you are really holding down this thing called family and life, because her marriage had its own issues, right? And she was really focused on her kids. She was focused on, us being in school. And so I saw her do it all, but I saw her do nothing for herself. Did y'all catch that? She poured her all into us. So I took on that mindset and said, okay, well, let me try to be Superwoman too. But I became Superwoman with an attitude, washing the table like this. And he's sitting there looking at me, washing the table, And he just looking like, whoa, she must have had a bad day. No, I want you to read my mind and know that I need you to wipe this table down, but I never asked him to do it. See, now I know they say God don't make mistakes, but God, you didn't make our men mind readers. 11 years later, I realized that he has not made them mind readers. So we have to open our mouths, ladies, articulate what we want, and then share what it feels like, because that's the vulnerability that we don't want to show with our spouse. But yet we want them to be open and have an open heart and have an open mind. But we don't want to open up. I know I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to your neighbor. I'm talking to your neighbor. How was it going to make you feel when I saw Derek taking care of Lexi in that way? Do you know that made me feel appreciated? That made me feel heard. I felt like, oh my God, that's one less thing I have to do. Thank you for lightening the load. Yes, just putting her hair in a ponytail. That's one less thing I had to do. And what's beautiful about knowing what I need, and I can clearly define the more, that puts me in position to now take care of his needs too. Because see, you're lessening my load. And if you want some more, you want to meet me at 8 o'clock in the corner, like that, I have energy. I can do it. So it's being very clear on what you need in order for you to perform at your best, in order for you to do your part in your marriage. So ask for their help and share how it will make you feel. Stop being so tough, because the attitude you have, the anger you have, is simply covering up the real feelings that you're investing in. Like, you're basically allowing your anger to speak for you, instead of just saying, baby, you know what? I'm overwhelmed. Like, I never, the kids are home now. This is virtual learning. Can we really come up with a plan where I just get a little help? I need you. I appreciate everything you're doing, there we go, Lucas. And, because you do want to say and, you don't want to say but, and I appreciate how you can help me more in this area. Here's where I need more of you. And if your man, that I believe you married the right one, or you're about to marry the right one, wants to meet the needs of his queen, he wants to help his queen, be the best that she can be, he's going to listen. But it's all about delivery. It's all about how you're asking for what you need. Now, when I used to nag, I still nag from time to time. I'm not perfect, y'all, but I can recognize it now. But when I used to nag, I couldn't understand why it wasn't working. I mean, it would be nice, or I'm very sarcastic. It would be nice if you just pick those clothes. Those clothes ain't gonna pick up themselves. Sure be nice if them dishes will put themselves in a dishwasher. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your neighbor. Ask for their help and share how it will make you feel. All right, here's the quote that I want you to remember. Okay, I'm sorry, the question first. What would it really mean to have your spouse's buy-in? So when you think about them buying into the relationship, buying into what you need, how is that really going to make you feel? What does that really mean for you? This requires you to be vulnerable. This requires you to let that tough exterior down, that superwoman, take that S off your chest, change superwoman to I need support woman. Like, I need support. Help me, baby, I need you. I'm not a damsel in distress, but I do need your help. Okay? And here's the quote. I love this quote right here. You are never strong enough, ever, ever, ever strong enough that you don't need help. Okay? That goes for your man, and that goes for yourself. Okay? So ask for their help. Most of the time, they don't know you need it. You're just assuming they're supposed to know because you believe some fairy tale that they're mind readers. I promise you they're not. All right? Y'all ready for number 5? How we doing? We doing good? Oh, yes, good. I want to make sure we have at least 10 minutes for questions. How we doing? Y'all ready for number 5? Put it in the chat room. Is this helping somebody? Is this helping somebody? All right, ladies and my gents who are lurking. The 5th way, this is a good one, to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything is to discern the season your marriage is in. Somebody needs to write that down. Discern, right? The season your marriage is in. Now, I believe marriage happens in seasons. And many of us have been thrown completely off guard with the pandemic, with coronavirus. And so it hit marriages differently. When you think about the season that your marriage is currently in, there is a possibility that you may be required to give more than you would in a normal season. So in this case, with Corona, and I'm being completely transparent, when Corona hit, my mother actually got sick, and she unfortunately passed away on May 1st. My husband had to step up and give more because I was out. I was ready to tap out. I didn't have it to give. I didn't want to be mama. I didn't want to be wife. I just could not understand what was happening to our family, what had happened to our life at that moment. And so my husband in that season, in this current season we're in, had to step up and be more. Sometimes your marriage may require you to be 70-30, because we said it ain't equal, right? Sometimes it's going to require you to be 40-60, but let's go back to the main purpose. This is our marriage. So when my husband saw that I was needing him more than I've ever needed him, he pretty much took that load and lifted it off of me. Do you see that? And that's how it should be when it comes to discerning the season that your marriage is in. Sometimes it's going to require you to do more. Stop looking at it as it's unfair. What's the goal? Let's go back to the vision. Let's go back to what we said we want to do. Rona came and messed everything up. So let's go back to the drawing board. Talking about business meetings. We go back to the drawing board and we talk about, hey, what is it that we need? In this season right now, we just need to be. Like, ain't no plans. Like, let's just be. Let's just really allow what's happening to kind of get us to where we're going to be and be in survival mode. Sometimes you're going to be in survival mode. You just can't stay there. So I needed my husband to step up, and he did. In the same season, he started a trucking business, which means he is away from the household much longer hours, days than I would like for him to. But this is the season he has to do it in, so that when the season change, because the seasons will change by God design, they change. We will be in a better position to where now his hours can be cut down some because he's doing all work. Don't ants work like during a certain season of the year so that they can have food and stuff stored up? That's pretty much the same concept, mindset that my husband has, and I had to adopt. I had to really adopt that same mindset because this is the season we're in. So stop looking at marriage as being fair and unfair. When you look at the marriage, is the marriage winning? Then it has two key players making it win. You may see it as 60-40, and it might be that way. However, together, y'all are supposed to get the benefits. Together, when it's harvest time, both y'all eat. So I need y'all to ask yourselves this question. I hope y'all are writing these questions down when it comes to discerning the season. What season is your marriage currently in? How did you get here? And what does your marriage need to survive or thrive in it? And notice I said survive and thrive, because again, depending on where you are, you may not be in thriving mode. We just need to survive. We just need to take the hits that are coming right now. Let's make sure we're tight. Let's make sure we're doing the best that we can to stay afloat. And then when we get in position and we have resources and tools like this 2-day intensive, that's going to come in and help us to see, okay, this is where we pivot. This is where we shift. This is how we get back on top. Because there's a lot going on in different marriages, and it looks different. So this whole 50-50 thing, just go ahead and throw that out the way. Long as we're both contributing 100%, and my 100% right now might look like 40. If you've ever dealt with grief, I'm telling you, you know I read a quote today that said, if you've never been on a grief journey before, you don't understand why it takes people so long to grieve, then we're so grateful that you don't understand. Because it is hard for us to understand. But not only grieving, but I'm a wife. I still got to be a wife. I still got to be a mother. I still got to show up as a sister, as a full-time business owner. So when I think about the season we're in a season of pretty much survival. Which means my husband can be like, man, I'm doing all the work. That's how he talks. I want to imitate. I'm doing all the work. He ain't saying that though. He doing what he need to do. He my MJ right now. If I'm sitting on the bench, guess what? My MJ got me. But we're going to be all right, because when it's time for me to tap back in, I thank God for the rest. I thank God for the time he's given me to get myself together. So think about what got you here. What got you to the place of where your marriage, everybody's marriage is not in survival mode. You might be thriving and you want to continue to do the maintenance so that you can thrive. So think about the steps, the actions, the execution that you took to get to where you are in your relationship. And then think about what you need to continue to move forward. All right? So the quote that I want you to remember is that the couples that are meant to be are the ones that go through everything that is meant to tear them apart and come out even stronger than they were before. Okay? So those are your 5 secrets revealed. You heard these before, haven't you? I'm telling you, it's a marriage mindset shift that has to take place when it comes to you looking at your relationship as, I'm doing more. I'm not saying your spouse can't contribute additionally, because I'm sure they are contributing, but just not in the way you think. So when you think about more, let's go back through them really quickly. Y'all ready? I hope y'all been writing them in the chat room. The first way is to what? This is to define what more means to you. Did y'all write that down? Define what more means to you. You have to be very specific and realistic. Number 2, who remembers? Come on, y'all. We back in class. We're going to what? Acknowledge. I'm looking to see if somebody typed it. Acknowledge what they're already doing. Because they're doing something. You're just looking at everything they're not doing. Train your mind to acknowledge and appreciate what that person is doing. Because when you appreciate what your spouse is doing, I promise you, you're putting them in position to want to do more. If my husband told me everything I didn't do right, do you think I'm going to do something for him? He going to get that Highsville, Maryland attitude real quick. But when he tell me how much he appreciates me, I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, baby. And what you want me to do that for? I'll make you play. I ain't got no problem. Number 3, what's the third way, y'all? Come on. Stop keeping score. If you need to go watch The Last Dance, I want you to watch it now with new eyes. Watch it with the perspective of, this is a team effort. I know MJ was a star. I know he was bomb, but he wasn't nothing, honestly, without his team. So when you look at your relationship as that way, stop keeping score, because it will never appear fair. Number 4, come on, y'all. Y'all coming with it. I see you in the chat room. The 4th way to get your spouse to do more when you feel like you're doing everything. What is number 4? Come on. Ask for help and share how it will make you feel. Don't leave out that part. Don't just say, I really want you to help me. Okay, but you got attitude, baby. What's wrong? Why are you coming with attitude? Why do you want him to help you? Because I feel overwhelmed. Well, tell him that. Let him hear your heart. Stop trying to be so hard like you got it together. I ain't got it together. I'm dealing with a lot. Emotionally, mentally, I'm drained. So, baby, I need you. I know I appear to be Superwoman, but Superwoman has retired her cape. I turned that S into support. I need support. You want to help me? Thank you. I appreciate you. I need your help. The strength is in asking for the help. There's no weakness in asking for help. Remaining, like you don't need that help is what makes you weak. Ooh, somebody had to catch that. Asking for help is where your strength is. Ask them and then tell them how it makes you feel. And then lastly, discern the season your marriage is in, because it may be in a season where it requires more on one of the partners in order to get y'all through whatever it is you're going through, whether it's this season of Rona or if it's just a rough patch, because we're going to hit those patches. Doesn't mean your marriage is over. You might be in survival mode, but now you got the tools, like this 2-day intensive. You got the tools to help you thrive once again, all right? So I'm going to open up a Q&A really quickly. I hope that you ladies and gents have found this helpful. Any questions? Ladies, how are you feeling? Questions, comments? This is an opportunity to let it all out. Come on now, this is it. Come on with it. Any questions? We have 4 minutes. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. Anybody find it? Let me ask you about some of these steps. Does anybody find any of these ways more difficult than another? Like, what's your most difficult way? Like, you feel like, I don't know, LB, I don't know if I can stop keeping score. I don't know, LB, I don't know if I can ask for what I want. Which one is probably the most difficult one for you and why? Tell me that. Come on, this free coaching. What you doing? This free coaching right here. How we doing? Going once, going twice, asking for help. Yes. Every woman on here know they want to type it, but they were like backspacing it. They typed it out and they backspaced it. They typed it out. Where are we getting this from? Where is the idea that I don't need help comes from? Where is that coming from? That could be tied into your past, your upbringing, but it can also be tied into you being Mrs. Controlling. Uh-oh, I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to your neighbor. Maybe you're Mrs. Controlling because you want everything done your way, how you want to do it, the way you say it's supposed to be done. We got to let that go. Mrs. Controlling is going to turn you into a real not so happy person. Real happy. You're not going to be happy because everything is not about you. Ooh, no, she didn't say that. It's not all about you. It's about him too. And if you relinquish some of that power, I understand you're a powerful woman. I understand you're in position to do things and make it happen. Watch how much more you can accomplish when you not just delegate, but really bring on your partner to be a part. Remember the question was the buy-in. I want you to be a part of this, not me telling you and dictating how it should be done. No, help me by being a part of this. Let go. Ask for help and watch what happens. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less powerful. In fact, it's a smart, strategic move to say, baby, I need you. Why am I trying to do this by myself and I done married a nice, strong, handsome man to help me through this thing called life? Why am I trying? I might as well stay single if I'm going to do it by myself. So ask for help and stop looking at it as it's making you weak. Nah, baby, that's where your strength lies. And you can get so much more accomplished when you have their buy-in, okay? For me, asking for help, I'm so confused. I'm so used to doing things on my own and feeling like it won't get done. Let go. My child's heart was over here. You think I care? Who cares? She a cute little girl. She'll be all right. He did her hair. Hello. Let go of control. It's not, and what's going to happen if I allow her to walk down the street with a crooked part? What you mad because people going to look at you crazy? I don't care. He did her hair. I didn't have to do it. That's all that matters. Guess what? That freed up time for me to do other stuff. That gave me energy to do other stuff. I'm not worried about what other people think or what other people want me to, to have or how it should look. Stop trying to create this perfect image of marriage. You keep hearing that, I know marriage ain't perfect. Well, why are you still trying to fit, a circle into a square hole? Like, what are we doing here? Let go. Watch how much more he is willing to contribute because you're not controlling. Because every time in the past, I would always have something to say. Oh, why you put those pants with that shirt? You want to do it? You do it then. He gonna take his hands off. But I let her wear polka dots and stripes. And then I may guide him along the way, but that was okay. We in the car, we riding. Anybody gonna see her? Hello, somebody. So I hope that helped. Mrs. Controlling, you gotta let go. Listen, make sure you click the link in my bio at The Wife Coach because I do have 7 signs you're a married woman, not a wife, and Mrs. Controlling is the sign of a married woman. Because I teach my wives the difference between showing up as a wife and being that married woman. You may not be miserable, but you sure is acting like y'all. Because all you're doing is complaining and nagging and cussing and fussing and want this and never happy. And we ain't got time to do that. Let go of the control factor. Thank you, Jason and Angel Scott. Any final questions, comments? Because it is 4 o'clock on the east side, right? Yeah, Eastern time. It's 4 o'clock. Any final questions, comments? All right, good people. I think we got them all. All right, so for those of you all who are looking for ways to start this conversation with your spouse, what I need you all to do is to grab what I have created, which is the Marriage Success Planner. I created this planner because, like Lucas and Corinne were sharing earlier, we run our marriage like a business as well. And we have pillow talk on Sunday mornings, and we sit in the bed and we pull out our planner and we really talk about, what does our marriage need at this point? What's going on this week? What do the girls need? Have we had any date days? In fact, some of the days, that's why I'm like, Lucas, they must got the planner, because I do have it where I've given you 50 ideas in the back of the planner on date days, date nights. And one of those being hopping around, at different restaurants. So the Marriage Success Planner, I've created it to help you take care of business in your marriage. I want to help you with communication. Coming to your spouse now that you know that you want him to do more, you can present this to him. You can actually come up with an idea and say, you know what, let's do a business meeting. Or let's have pillow talk, depending on, the language that works in your relationship. So make sure you text planners to 31996 and free shipping on me. You know what I'm saying? So it will go out tomorrow. The Marriage Success Planner is definitely helping couples to take care of business, helping men who are business minded really see marriage as a business and how we're going to profit from this thing. So that's what it's all about. All right. So text planners to 31996. Again, thank you so much. And make sure you stay connected with me on Instagram at The Wife Coach. And I look forward to connecting with my wives and my wives to be. We got some great things coming up with the Marriage Success Planner, as well as my masterclass called Teach Me How to Be a Wife. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Gwendolyn. I appreciate you all.
All righty. I think we're back. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Lakia, you just steamed my whole body. You just made me smile. I was jumping here, like sitting down. I felt like, hello. I hope everybody took down notes. Yes, I have my notepad here, and I did take down some notes. Girl, you are just rolling it. And I'm telling you guys, starting tonight, I'm taking all these lessons into action, right? That's what it is. It's not all about listening and not doing anything at the end of the day. So I just want to say thank you so much. Lakia, you're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you. All righty, guys, let's go on right now. Thank you to Linda and this amazing organization, the Women in Leadership Development and Empowerment Organization. Wow. Yes. So before continuing, I would like us to watch a short video about WOW to understand exactly what it is all about.
We are the Winner's Circle.
To me, being a part of the Wild Winner's Circle means being part of an inclusive community of women that lift each other up so we can all shine.
I have seen so many phenomenal women come together in this one organization. I can't say enough about Wild. I'm just so impressed with the sisterhood and the authenticity of this program.
Personally, I like to see women who are growing together, women who can connect and collaborate and grow together. But most importantly, learning those business lessons that sometimes where you're lacking, another woman will uplift you in that area. So it has really given me that push and drive to do better and achieve more in my business.
Being part of the Winner's Circle to me personally means being in a community of women who are strong, powerful, and successful, all of whom I'm blessed to be a part of.
Wild Inner Circle to me means a joining connection of women there to lift you, inspire you, create ideas in you that you may not have known you had in you. And there's a certain energy and power that comes from this group that drives you to your next level. Even if you think you're not ready for it, this group will get you there.
I am so much more confident. Anytime I'm having a bad day, all I have to do is click on that group and just see all the great things that everybody is doing.
We're a community of women from diversified backgrounds and experiences that come together to build each other up and improve community standards. I would like to welcome you to join our membership community here at the Wild Winner's Circle. The Wild Winner's Circle is your opportunity to connect, cultivate, collaborate, and create with other women that you can collectively succeed together. Membership enrollment is currently open, and if you're looking for a tribe of women where you can feel comfortable with, women you can call in time of need, and women you can celebrate your wins and successes with, this is your community, and I would like to welcome you to join our home.
Wow, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that at least by now you have a little glimpse, a little more understanding about who the Wild Winners Circle are. And of course, the brain behind this amazing organization is no other than the amazing lady transformer. She is just a life changer, Linda Array. Now, if you enjoyed yourself on the show today, if you enjoyed yourself on this panel, if you enjoyed the discussions, I want to see those thumbs up rolling up. I want to see claps. I want to see, just show your appreciation to all the amazing panelists that we had today. The discussions were intense and we learned so much. I know that so many of us are going to be transformed after this. We'll be doing things differently. And of course, we have a group that we can rely on. We can always come back to each other, learn and empower each other. So don't hesitate to show your love and appreciation for all of them from this amazing job. Now we definitely want to hear from Linda. She put all this together, and I know Valerie has been working tooth and nail to make sure that everything goes on smoothly. Let's welcome Linda with a round of applause. Loves, claps, every single thing, guys.
Yes, yes, yes. Hi, everybody. I'm telling you, hi, LB. I'm telling you, listen, we did 2 days of enrichment, empowerment, and just feeding into marriages. So I am just so excited. You know, the panelists gave their contact information. We will email them out. I see people like asking. So that just tells you, to my panelists, thank you all so much. You know, nothing that I did was Linda creating. This was just really God designing this flow. I shared with LB that when I had this idea, I put her name down along with some other people, and I've not even talked to her yet. And I said, oh, she's going to be, you know, on the panel. And that's just how, you know, God works. And if you see the flow, everything just worked out so perfectly. I really pray and hope that you enjoyed yourself today, that you listen, even if it's one lesson from one panel that or speaker that you would implement into your life and your relationship. I really invite you to check us who Wild is, check us who the Wild Winner Circle is. And if you're in Delaware or around Delaware, I also invite you to join us for our award ceremony November 8th. We're doing a face-to-face red carpet event, giving you an opportunity to dress up. I know it's been so long, okay? I'm ready to get on the red carpet and glam up on November 8th. And if you can't make it, just go on our website, and I hope you can join us. Check us out, all our activities, our events. Our ultimate goal is to help women and communities be the best version of themselves personally and professionally. And we really use our skill sets to empower communities and make communities better. We're big about philanthropy. So if you've not had an opportunity to check out who we are, you just go on our website, check us out. I am excited. Thank you to all our panelists. Thank you all for tuning in. And a big, big special thank you to Valerie, who has just rocked it throughout this entire time, both before the event and during these 2 days. Thank you, Valerie. As I said, you make my job easier, and I really can't do this without you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to doing more with you and just sharing more about what we do with you. Thank you all. If you want to close, so bye everybody. Bye, bye, bye. Hope you enjoyed yourself, and we will continue to have these conversations. Thank you all.